The House of Representatives has instituted a probe through the setting up of an ad hoc committee to investigate the circumstances of the reappearance, reinstatement, and promotion of Abdul Rashid Maina from Assistant Director to a Director in the Ministry of Interior after his disappearance following a warrant for his arrest on a charge of 100 billion pension funds in 2015. The motion was brought to the floor of the Green Chamber under matter of urgent public importance by Honorable Jagaba Adams, as he lamented the porous nature of the nation's security and ineptitude on the part of the nation's security agencies.
There has been high-profile corruption that has been swept under the carpet. Last regime, Mr. Speaker, we are all aware how Maina was declared wanted, the embezzlement, and to our shock, he used a green passport and left this country without anybody asking questions or arresting him. He comes to Nigeria at will and leaves at will, unchecked. And Mr. Speaker, I think there's something wrong somewhere.
Supporting the motion, lawmakers expressed worries on the development, which according to them is capable of sending wrong signals on the ongoing fight against corruption by the Buhari administration, as they call for a thorough investigation by the House into the circumstances that led to its reappearance and reinstatement.
We've been hearing over and over again that there is a cabal that is doing a lot of things, even unknown to Mr. President. For how long shall we condone that kind of untoward practice? That is why I'm supporting this motion, and I'm urging that all well-meaning members of this legislative body should support that we should find answers to the various questions begging for answers. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Maina had come into this country. How he got to pass the immigration and entered the country and even got engaged in the civil service is another question the immigration should give us an answer to. So, Mr. Speaker, I think there is a lot of questions that needs to be answered. So searching alone does not help the situation. Because the problem we have in this country is that when people offend, they are not reprimanded. And when people go unpunished for offense that have been committed or negligence of duty.
He was sacked in 2013. He is again sacked now. Who knows if he'll be reinstated again in future? We need to get into the root of this matter and to sanction those who are responsible.
Though other lawmakers think such investigations are necessary, since the executive has instituted one already, saying it will amount to a duplication and that the House should tread with caution.
And Mr. President took time, suspended him and did the right thing. If he was suspended the next day based on the allegations, it would have been that Mr. President is very sensitive to human rights. It would have been that Mr. President was a former military president, so he does not understand democracy. It would have been so many other things here. So when he cautiously takes his time to do the right thing, we come back here and start making wild allegations. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Keita, please. The coming of Maina into the country.
Honorable Chika, please.
Mr. Speaker, before Maina left the country, he was declared wanted by police. He was declared wanted by police, not only EFCC. Police and EFCC was declared wanted. He was sacked based on abandonment, not based on the resolution of the Senate. The Senate investigated this matter and came to a conclusion on the issues as concerned the fund. Now, Mr. Speaker, it was not decided based on the resolution of the Senate and the House of Representatives in the 7th Assembly and Senate and 7th Senate. But because of abandonment of work by Maina, that's why he was sacked. And probably that's why the court gave a null on it. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, there will be a total investigation of every agencies of government that was involved in this matter.
It will be recalled that Maina was declared wanted by the EFCC and the police for massive fraud offense of over 100 billion pension funds, and he blatantly refused invitations to appear before a Senate committee and finally absconded to the United Arab Emirates to escape investigation in 2015. The House has mandated an ad hoc committee to investigate the matter and report back for further legislative action after adopting prayers commending the president for Maina's immediate sack as he directed the EFCC to arrest him for subsequent prosecution in order to serve as a deterrent to those that may have same corrupt tendencies. In a related development, the House of Representatives on Tuesday has mandated the Central Bank of Nigeria to within 1 week explain the utilization of salary bailout funds to states. The House also directed its ad hoc committee on bailout funds, which is here to submit its report, to expedite action on it and investigate the payment of salary bailout funds in Kogi State. The resolution followed the motion under urgent public importance on the urgent need to save the people of Kogi State raised during plenary by Honorable Karimi Sunday from Kogi State. The lawmaker, while debating, said the salary bailout fund is funded by the public finance of the federal government of Nigeria. As such, the parliament has authority to query the bailout funds, disbursement and utilization. The lawmaker raised concerns over the loss of the average Kogi State civil servant and workers, which is reflected in the suicide by a senior Kogi State civil servant, Edward Soje, who was owed 11 months' salary and could not meet his family obligation as husband after his wife delivered triplets last week.
This House set up a committee to investigate the disbursement and utilization of bailout funds nationwide. And by the time that committee was set up, we were in order. And even after setting up that committee, the situation in Kogi State has not changed. In fact, it's been getting worse. We cannot keep quiet while a section of Nigeria, people are dying daily because of hunger, because of inability to meet their daily needs for non-payment of salaries. Mr. Speaker, my colleague, this issue is very important. And unfortunately, the bailout fund received by Kogi State and several other states, not only Kogi State, they have not been properly utilized. This man hanged himself because, in fact, there was no way out.
Contributing to the debate, Honorable Nkiruka Onyejoshua questioned the conscience of leaders not only in the states but in the country in general. According to her, these state governments are seeking for more funds when they can't account for the one collected earlier.
All the governors have immunity. You can't even prosecute them. But beyond this, what do we do? Do we just sit down and go and appeal to the president to give them more money? What do we do? It's a very serious issue that needs serious measures to handle. Maybe we'll start looking at our laws. We start looking at our laws about immunity, about prosecution, about things like that. Because honestly speaking, Mr. Speaker, it is very sad, and I don't think that anything that is worth doing in this matter, we should not do it. We should do everything humanly possible to make sure that these situations are ameliorated.
The House adopted the motion through a majority voice vote put up by Speaker Yakubu Dogara, and its ad hoc committee on salary bailout funds urged to expedite action on its findings and report to the House for further legislative action, while calling on the CBN to update the House on situation of the bailout funds to the states. Emmanuel Ehijine, PTV News.